Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social, in association with freebets.com, Empire Fight Store. Forge Irish Stout, we're here, Gareth A, Davies. Gareth, I appreciate your time. A lot's gone on today. Let's just start with the weigh-ins first. Both looked in great shape. Excited for tomorrow night? You said it, the key word, I've referenced your name in a few interviews, jeopardy. Still see that tomorrow night?
Yeah, there's jeopardy for Anthony Joshua every time he fights, really, but we know what Ngannou can do now. We know that he's come in the same weight, 272, as he fought Fury, so he can do 10 rounds. We know he can. He looks strong at the end. He was tiring a little bit at the end of those 10 rounds. Fury just nicked the fight off him. He's really dangerous the whole time he's in there. Joshua's susceptible to the left hook. He's been susceptible in his career. That was the punch that put Fury down in their fight in October. They're both really up for it. Ngannou's got nothing to lose, and that's a dangerous guy. And he might even be dangerous when he's hurt in there while Joshua's busting him up. So Joshua mustn't get greedy in this fight either. Be clinical like he was against Otto Wallin. Work his way into the fight. Keep him at range. I see Joshua winning. I think it's an 80-20 fight. But
that 20 is a dangerous 20.
It's a dangerous 20, and I think he won't be happy going home with a boatload of cash, knowing that his legacy is busted up.
Yeah.
Because he's got the prospect of a third fight with Alexander Usyk to put the record straight, or the blockbuster mega fight that we all want with Tyson Fury. If he wins, he knows it's in early 2025.
Yeah.
He knows that Fury, and he'll stay in shape. He knows that Fury and Usyk have got a 2-fight deal. Zhang and Parker, I believe, is a 2-fight deal, by the way.
It is, confirmed.
Yeah, and Parker told me a couple of days ago. So what's great is everyone's, this brilliant Super League's being made, and all these guys are being told, you've got a 2-fight deal, so have this fight, be ready for 4 months' time. This is heaven. These are the halcyon days in our era.
We've got to savour these, haven't we?
We've got to savour. We will look back on this as the halcyon 2 years in this heavyweight division, because we're going to get all the fights made in time every 4 or 5 months. It'll all be over this era by the end of 2025. That's not a long time away, but it certainly isn't in boxing.
Yeah.
But now, with the new regime around it, with the new way that it's being put together, built, it's amazing.
100%. Let's stick on to a heavyweight, a very famous heavyweight. I was driving down here. Someone actually just had to check the calendar to check it weren't April Fools. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Now, I've said this in a few interviews. I don't know whether that's changed after, because I'm bouncing interview to interview. Don't know if it's an exhibition, if it's an actual fight, or what's going on. Just give us your thoughts on it, Gareth.
Well, it's got to be an exhibition because, look, I mean, you go back a few years, and they wouldn't have got a license to put Jake Paul in a ring with Mike Tyson, because it would literally be like feeding a piece of meat to the tigers, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. But Jake Paul has got better and better. Mike Tyson's nearly 60. We all want to see Mike Tyson knock Jake Paul out, don't we? Don't we?
I mean, let's be honest. I think it's one of them where you're like, he's nearly 60 years of age. When I speak to people like Johnny Nelson, even if it is a move round, he's more on the side of it's a bit of a concern, really, because is Jake Paul going to sit in that ring if it is an exhibition and not try and knock Mike Tyson out, who's 60 years of age?
Mike Tyson will not want to be embarrassed in there. I think he'll just be explosive and let his hands go. We know what he's like on the pads with Rafael Cordero, MMA Kings. He looks phenomenal. Obviously, there's nothing coming back. We've had the fight in 2020 that we didn't really get a lot out of it because Roy Jones didn't really want to engage too much in that 6-round exhibition. Yeah, it'll be an exhibition of sorts, but you're going to watch it because most people, Jake Paul plays the heel. Mike Tyson was the heel, but he's not anymore, but beloved. I don't know, I don't mind it. I think it's just brilliant marketing. The most recognised, the most
famous boxer
living on the planet. On the planet, I think Muhammad Ali is the most famous boxer alive.
Yes,
yeah,
alive.
Exactly. And so, he's the most famous boxer alive. There's no question about it. Probably one of the most known men in the world when he was in his pomp.
Comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. So against Jake Paul, who's a modern maniac, isn't he?
He knows how to create waves, doesn't he?
From your world, basically.
He's from my world.
It's the YouTube world. Not your world. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean the milieu that you work in.
Yeah, hits social media, clicks, numbers, and look, he knows when he's announcing it as well on the big fight week as well. So it all marries together. Look, speaking of numbers, and another big fight which people are going, they're excited because it is big. But Conor Benn, Manny Pacquiao, after this weigh-in, this incredible weigh-in, them two were both sat on the side and came together face to face.
Knucklehead Sean between them.
Yes, with knucklehead Sean between them, and both came on stage, and they both obviously were there face to face for the first time. This fight, I spoke to Eddie Hearn, very tight-lipped obviously because things aren't being officially announced, but what do you make of it?
Well, I think they kind of hijacked the end of the press conference, the weigh-in, to be honest. That's one thing they did. The fight's not signed yet, I understand. I think they probably want to do it out here, which is why they're here. But, you know, there wasn't a better platform to suddenly promote that fight than this. Again, it's an aging superstar of a sport against a guy who's made a lot of noise and hasn't quite got there yet. It's a good matchup for Conor Benn. Manny Pacquiao's 45. He's way past his best when he was an 8-weight division world champion. But he's been looking for a fight. I mean, he and Amir Khan were looking for a fight at one point.
He tried getting back into the Olympics, didn't he, as well?
That's just recently. They've just turned him down on the universality rule, in which you're allowed to be over 40 in the Olympics if your country doesn't have a bigger quota. But the Philippines have been using their over 40 quota quite a lot. But I think it's too late for him to have been in the Olympics. Should have done it in Rio in 2016, in my view.
Is it too late to fight Conor Benn?
No. It's a hard fight for Pacquiao because Conor Benn's a young stud, 20 years his junior. So an age is everything in boxing. But it'll get eyeballs on Conor Benn. Eddie Hearn will be delighted. So will Conor Benn. And Manny Pacquiao can't stop himself rumbling. Maybe it'll be back here in Riyadh.
It's looking likely. Gareth, appreciate your time as always. It's been good to catch up. Let's do that. Nearly went the wrong way then.
Is that stone, paper, scissors?
Gareth, appreciate your time, bud.
Always a pleasure.